Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that, you've probably never given a second thought to. A simple little cartoon for toddlers about taking a bath. But, as you're about to see, there is some seriously fascinating science hiding just under all those bubbles.
So here it is. This is the entire piece of media we're looking at today. Yep, just 3 lines describing this bath time fun animation. And yeah, at first glance, it's just cute, right? But trust me, every single thing in that description, the duckies, the bubbles, the song, it's all there for a very specific reason. And that really gets to the heart of what we're asking today. Is this thing just a colorful distraction to keep a kid busy for a few minutes? Or is it something more, like a secret masterclass in child psychology? Okay, let's peel back the layers and find out what's really going on.
So, first up, let's just break down the scene itself. You and I might just see a bathtub, right? But what's actually been built here is a carefully designed sensory playground, made to get a young brain firing on all cylinders. Let's begin with what the toddler sees. You've got the animated character, a tub full of bubbles, those little duckies, and colorful bubbles floating all around. And you're probably thinking, okay, just cute stuff. But no, not a single one of these things is there by accident. Each one has a job to do. Let's start with an absolute icon, the rubber ducky. It's got to be the most famous bath toy on the planet. And there's a really, really good reason it's almost always a part of a scene like this. And it all comes down to something called object familiarity. I mean, think about it from a toddler's point of view. Bath time can be a lot. The loud water, a new temperature, it can be kind of scary. But then they see that ducky. It's a friendly, familiar face. It's like a little anchor of comfort in this big sea of new sensations. It makes the whole experience feel safe and predictable. It literally helps calm them down. Okay, so beyond familiar friends like the ducky, the scene uses something else to get that little brain working. The colorful bubbles. They look like pure fun, but they're actually putting in some serious work. What they're doing is all about something called sensory tracking. A toddler's eyes are just naturally drawn to bright, moving things. They can't resist them. So following those bubbles as they float and pop, it's actually a fun little workout for their brain, building up those crucial visual skills that are so important for their development down the road. So the visuals are clearly doing some heavy lifting. But what a child hears is every bit as important. And that brings us to the song, that cute nursery rhyme mentioned in the description. Now this is where the real magic starts to happen. So, why a simple nursery rhyme? Why not something with more complicated words? Well, for a toddler's brain, complex lyrics are basically just noise. But simple, repetitive songs? Oh, that's the sweet spot. The repetition helps build memory and creates these predictable patterns that are just so comforting for a little one. It reduces anxiety and makes the whole thing feel safe. And here's the really clever part. Notice what the song is about: splashing, washing hair, giggling. The lyrics are tied directly to what's happening. By linking a positive, fun word like giggling to a task that can sometimes be scary, like washing hair, the song creates this incredibly powerful, positive feeling about the whole routine. It's genius. All right, so this is where it all comes together. Let's look at the activity itself, because this is where the sights and the sounds team up to create a powerful learning tool that's just disguised as playtime. This little sequence here, it is not random at all. This is what you'd call a behavioral model. It's basically a step-by-step guide for kids that shows them exactly how bath time is supposed to go. You start with play, you do the washing, you rinse off, and, this is the most important part, you end with a smile. And this, right here, is the end game. For so many parents and toddlers, bath time can be just chaotic and stressful. But by showing this predictable, step-by-step process that ends on a happy note, the animation turns that potential chaos into a calm, easy-to-understand routine. It takes away the fear of the unknown. Okay, so let's put all the pieces back together. When you really stop and look at how all these little elements are working together, the sheer genius of this simple little cartoon becomes crystal clear. So what looked like just a cute cartoon is actually an incredibly sophisticated toolkit for a developing child. You've got sensory engagement building cognitive skills, language repetition building memory, positive modeling teaching a routine, and emotional association making the whole thing feel great. Every single piece has a job to do. It just goes to show you, there's often some deep science hidden in the most ordinary places. The most effective learning tools aren't always the flashy, complicated ones. And that kind of leaves you with one last thing to think about, right? What other simple things in a kid's world, like building blocks or peekaboo, are actually powerful, carefully designed tools for learning? Makes you wonder.